All right.
Welcome to another episode of Brews and Views, Tales from the Sea and the City. I am Kevin Griffin, one of your hosts, along with my other half, Mr. Jeff Williams. I like to call him Kix Brooks. But today, we have another special episode. I think that people are going to think that we've either burnt down the studio or have not figured our way how to get back to Gibson County yet. Because once again, we find ourselves in unfamiliar territory.
Well, you got to start paying that mortgage, man.
I'm telling you, maybe they'll take the padlocks off.
Yeah.
But while we are in somewhat unfamiliar territory to the podcast, sorry, English is my first language. We are in a well secluded location that we have mentioned on the podcast previously
Many a times.
So, Jeff, in your long journey to get here, tell us about where we're at today and who the hell we have with us.
Well, today we are at one of our beautiful watering holes, as we've talked about previously, the Nest 2.0. This is where the foundation was laid for our Brews and Views ideas and all this, and also where the Temu version of Brooks and Dunn really happened. We started singing karaoke down here after we, figured out that me and him kind of have a tune.
If these four walls could talk, it would be a lot of your wife complaining, let me tell you.
I would agree. But, so we're here in my basement, and we're going to have a good time tonight. But before we hop into our beers and talking about some good conversations, I'm going to introduce the man to my left here. I've known him for all 29 years of this old man's life.
No, the gray in the beard says otherwise.
Exactly. Grew up with them, and, same mother, same father. Here we go.
Some would say he's almost like a brother to you.
Like a brother, yeah. Like, kind of strange. Mr. Andy Williams.
Thank you very much.
That's no problem at all.
Andy, I know this is your first time ever being on a podcast, of course, so why don't you explain who you are, tell us a little background about you, and, just...
How the hell you got here today?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Andy Williams, brother here for 29 years now.
Yep, believe it or not.
Well,
No one does.
Not 72 like most people give me.
yeah, no. Yeah.
It's that 90%.
It's the younger one.
This is, again, no one also thinks that either. Father Time has not been good to you.
Yo,
Yours outside the pot. Song used to go with the rest.
yeah.
It's still got some flavor, but it's pretty damn.
Yeah, no one's smoking this cigar. Sorry.
Please.
Been in the Navy, got out in 2019, did my 5 years, I was done.
Thank you for your service, sir. And only your service indeed. Thank you.
Yeah, I actually did something instead of sit behind a desk.
Amen. That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
We're moving on. Moving forward.
I worked on the flight deck, directing aircraft. I was the guy in the yellow shirt. Doing all the cool stuff.
Do one of these numbers or...
Yeah, with my hands around in there. And
Yeah, something like that.
Kind of like a rave concert, but out at sea.
Yeah.
kind of.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've told a few pilots to take their head out of their butts. So
Only a few.
only a few. They needed it.
Well, they were probably young pilots too on their first deployment.
No.
No? LCDRs?
1 year short retirement.
They were like 06.
Jesus, I wouldn't do that. But your job as
It's my flight deck.
yeah.
You don't like it, fly somewhere else.
Exactly. So you did your Navy tour. We'll hop into that a lot because I know you brought some cool videos you want to show.
Yep.
Mr. Ronnie Dunn over here. What are you doing currently now?
Work for Toyota on body weld that do all the dents and scratches, bumps, metal welds.
Again, doing the Lord's work. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
I do a lot more than he will ever do.
That's true.
It's going to be a great episode today.
Yeah, you got a real good counterpart.
Oh, it's kind of so.
I don't got someone to defend me like I did last week.
Correct. Yeah. The turntables, if you will.
Yes, how the table has turned.
So, speaking of hopping around to different jobs like my partner has here, we have got an interesting lineup of beers today. Jeffrey, why don't you tell us what kind of soot you're drinking before I partake in this, charcoal, if you will.
Well, that's not even my beer that I'm drinking. That would be.
Oh, this is true. Yeah.
Yes. So today I'm drinking for Founders out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. It is their original breakfast stout. They changed the label a little bit here. They used to have a baby oatmeal on it. I don't know why they changed it. It was a classic image, but it comes in at an 8.3. It's a nice solid stout. If you like, a chocolatey breakfast, I don't know how to explain it. Like it says oatmeal, which I don't flavor wise, it doesn't have any.
But you're thinking more breakfast stout.
Yeah. Like you can wake up in the morning and drink this, and you'll feel good for a while. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I was just saying, maybe just a regular cup of Folgers or something would be suffice.
It looks the same.
I mean, when I was in the Navy, I did that. Woke up, poured one in, and it was good to go.
Champion, this one, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Anyways, Andy, what are you drinking? You got a something that we haven't had on the podcast at all this year.
I am drinking something imported from UK, United Kingdom. Even though we kicked their butts,
Amen.
1776, hey, got to get their beer. Had it while I was over in England on tap. If you like Lindor's chocolate, the red one, it tastes exactly like that.
You like it?
Actually, yeah, it's not half bad.
Yeah. That'd be a good way to put your stepping stone towards a stout.
Yeah, it's a 5%. It's not.
Yeah,
heavy
I mean,
or nothing.
it's light. I was going to say, when you had shown me the bottle a little bit ago, I was really surprised that it was only 5%, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I would at least expect a solid 7 or 8, just it being the stout
So
itself.
there's a reason we won back in 1776.
Correct.
They weren't drinking heavy beers.
Well,
We were over here.
They still don't. They drink a lot of apple ciders over there. It's weird.
Ciders? Really?
They get a lot of ciders.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I mean, I drank Guinness while I was there, but
How was Guinness over there?
it's
Is it
totally
the same?
different.
No.
I had it in Iceland, Norway, and England, and each three places were totally different.
Yeah.
I love it when like a good Irish person pours Guinness, because they'll take a look at it. They're like, oh, full iron it is. Like as it's coming down. Oh my gosh, it's so nice.
Speaking of Guinness and the Irish beers, have you seen or heard anything about the new place that just opened up on Main Street?
My dad just
Has it?
Hatties, I got him. We're supposed to go sometime in a few weeks.
Did you say your dad's already been to it?
No, he's been tagging me in all kinds of
Yeah.
Facebook posts and whatnot, and
Your parents live on Facebook, I'm telling you.
yeah, you can track their location.
Yeah, 100%. Your mom's really there and around the city. I know where she's at.
Yeah.
And half the time she's coming by to see me, too.
Check the shell.
Just got gas for this much.
Outrageous.
I remember when Reagan was at best. Didn't have these problems during the Carter administration.
Fill up for $5 and get a fountain.
Golly. But yeah, I really think it's nice just bringing a different kind of vibe, flavor into the Evansville beer bar kind of market.
Yeah.
Really think it's just something different and nice to.
Is it on Franklin Street?
No,
No, it's on Main Street.
Main Street. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I'm curious about that Scottish egg.
Yeah.
That looks good.
So they also have the only time I've ever had Scottish eggs is actually also here in Evansville at the Damsel Brew Pub right there off of Wabash in Franklin. But it's the old Iron Maiden before they had to rebrand.
Oh, yeah.
So they've got Scottish eggs there. I mean, I don't know what the different variations of it could be, but I mean the ones that I've had there a couple different times are very good.
Well, there you see the
I know-
Scottish egg.
I've been following that Patsy's for a bit now.
Yeah.
Before they even were opening up, they said that they went over to Ireland and learned
Really?
how to cook and everything. They even have a certificate how to pour Guinness right.
No kidding. Wow.
Well,
I know overseas that if you see a Guinness sign hanging outside of a bar, it means that they're certified to pour Guinness.
Wow. Interesting.
Well,
Well,
I didn't know.
before we get into more stories, I know we still got one more beer here that I know is a shock to you since we've had 2 on the podcast already.
Well, wrapping up my Southern Tier Brewing Company series, I've got this week Hoptomic Rush. It is a tropical IPA, and of course it's summertime, so why wouldn't I drink a tropical IPA? Although I'd drink it on Christmas Eve if I had one available to me.
Yes, it's a good backyard beer.
Truly, we're coming in that's a little bit, surprisingly, a little bit more higher on the ABV scale than the stout here, but at 6.5%, I mean, it's still a light, refreshing taste. It's still got some of those West Coast style IPA hops, and isn't something that's really. I mean, you could have a couple and still be all right. It's one of those that's light and refreshing at the same time, even though it sits at a solid 6.5.
I had that one on your back porch, and it is a really good one. It kind of reminds me of like a juicy.
Yeah,
IPA.
like a juicy IPA, absolutely.
And I'm a big fan of juicy IPAs.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a fan of cold beer, so
let's
back it up.
Yeah, let's back up just a little bit. The last week's episode, if you haven't gone to our YouTube or to Spotify or Apple Podcast, really, I've truly been telling people just to go straight to the YouTube because the videos from last weekend are top tier.
Well, considering most of that episode was about 40% of just us cackling the entire time.
Yeah,
because of stuff we were doing on screen and whatnot.
Yeah.
You would understand it more. So if you haven't watched it, or if you have a buddy who hasn't watched it, tell them, send the link. You go to YouTube yourself, watch it again.
Yeah, emphasis on watch again, because I think that my partner in crime here can agree with me in confessing that majority of that episode we were pretty trashed.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Red face.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. It didn't help. I got there around 6, and me and Jonah just started pounding Busch Lights.
Yeah.
At that point, because I think we brought home like 8
Out of the 30.
out of the 30.
Yes, and for those keeping track at home, unfortunately, we did not finish the entire 30 rack.
Yeah, well, it's hard to do in an hour.
But we could have done it.
Oh, yeah.
Had 2 out of 3 of us not work the next day, we would have really.
Yeah, I would agree.
But we have extended the invitation to our pal Jonah Day to come back on Brews and Views, and we will successfully complete the 30 rack challenge.
Next time is going to be hams.
No, I think I'm gonna be sick that day. Actually, I'll drink Busch Light for the best of them, but I will not drink that piss ass beer. No, there's hams. No way.
We're going to do 40s of Cobras.
Yeah, let's go Edward 40 hands. There we go. Some Colt 45. I mean,
I think we're really digging for an audience if we're trying to do that.
Yeah, and you talk about the that headache or that migraine that you had for 2 days after. You drink one of those trash beers.
My first time having a Colt 40 was over in San Diego, just because we saw them all the time. We're like, let's try it. And we drank it. We're like, dude, that wasn't that bad. Let's go grab a Bud Ice.
Yeah, no.
We all kind of Bud Ice 40. Next day, dude. Yep.
What they don't tell you, if you look in the fine print of Bud Ice, is it says, brewed in Anheuser-Busch Brewing Company, St. Louis, Missouri. In the very fine print, you have to hold like one of those
Magnifying glass.
Yeah, magnifying glass, black lights, whatever. It actually tells you this is actually brewed with the rainwater that we found outside the ditch, and then we just made it cold and then canned it.
Made it cold, and it's canned where they haven't removed the asbestos.
yeah, it's still not asbestos free. It 100% will kill you if you have too many of those.
Agreed. So, enough talking about Anheuser-Busch, because we're literally stacked. A bunch of our
baseball heaven, of course.
Yes. Andy, I'd like to talk to you about a little bit of your stories that you may have. I know you've shown me a lot of videos of them. Kevin hasn't seen the ones that you're going to be showing today.
Yeah.
So, just tell us, when you started, what duty stations you went to, starting all the way from Great Lakes and all that stuff.
So, went in September 17th of 2014. Did boot camp there. That was a time.
I love boot camp.
But it's easy. You just get told what to do. You just do it. Don't use your brain. It's a lot easier.
Time frame. So what year did you go in?
2014.
Oh, okay.
February 25th.
Okay. Yeah. I couldn't remember which one of you went first.
Then I actually went to A school in Pensacola. I got into trouble in Pensacola.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. I did 21 days restriction.
Are you legally allowed to tell us?
Well, yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Even if I signed something, I wouldn't care right now at the moment.
So with the FBI knocking at the door later, it's a little different.
No, it was. I was at a bar. It was New Year's Eve, and I ended up giving like a girl a drink for my buddy and everything. And it turned out somehow that girl got past the guards there and everything, the bouncer, and she was underage.
Oh, great. Oh, okay, looks like I'm not seeing the problem with you. Pass that.
Her Liberty buddy ratted.
Yeah. You got to think though, when you're in A school, your mind is set to boot camp. So everything's got to be done pure regulation, pure UCMJ. I mean, so
So the DRB, EXOs, and actually I did DRB and EXO at the same time.
XOI.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was an interesting day. That was nerve wracking.
So tell them what DRB is and XOI real quick. I mean, I've sat through a lot of them being a legal man, but I've never been in front of the man's.
Sucked.
It's always a good time on the side.
It's so DRB is discipline review board, and that's what you have to say when you go in there. And you're like, Airman Williams reporting for discipline review board. You can't just say DRB, or else they will kick you out and then make you come back in.
And knock 3 times and
The whole shebang.
Oh yeah.
Go all the way back, walk the mile here.
And then you explain what happened, and then you still have 7 chiefs, either just a chief, a senior chief, or master chief. I was the fortunate enough soul to have 3 master chiefs in there.
Well, the good thing about DRBs is all chiefs that are on that base are available to come.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't have to be part of your chain of command at all. They can just be there.
Just if they have to be available.
Yeah, if they're available. Hey, we're gonna yell at this E3 here.
I got time from 2 to 3 today. I got to squeeze the one in. So my question, just from the get go, when you report to the DRB and you're telling them how it happened, how formal, how casual can you be with it?
Oh, you have to be very formal.
That's what I was thinking. Like, how would you take a situation like, well, I didn't know I gave an underage girl a beer for my buddy. Like, how would you kind of turn that into something a little bit more to their standards?
There is no standard. They're going to yell at you.
Yeah, see,
You're there to get yelled at.
Yeah, you're going to.
But the good thing is, and I've seen this in a lot because I think I've sat through 5 different captain's masses from DRB all the way up. If you go in there and they're yelling super loud, that means you're not going to get pay restricted or stuff like that. A school's a little different, but in the command stuff, like when you finally reach your command, they're giving you your lickings early.
Gotcha.
Because it may not escalate to XOI or
You go in there and everything, and your butthole is like side.
Yay wide.
yeah.
And then when you leave, it's like that gaping wide.
Oh, they really get yeah.
Yeah.
They bring in the special artillery and really just go to town.
Yes.
I got you.
Oh yeah, it's a good time.
Oh, I guarantee it. For those on the third, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should do that. It was on my phone. Thanks, yeah.
Master Chief said, "You're a scumbag and shouldn't have been born. Probably should have been swallowed." Quote.
End quote.
What it kind of said to you. And then my XOI deal was like right after that. And the XO, he was like chill about everything. It was like weird. It was very weird.
That's because he knew what the CEO's mind was already made up as.
Yeah.
That's why.
That dude is actually from Indiana too.
You thought you might have a hometown discount.
Hey, Hoosiers.
Exactly.
You want draft win? Kayla Clark in my right.
Okay.
Larry Bird.
He was actually Purdue, but you know,
Man.
yeah. So it was still our.
Boilermakers. Yeah.
But then, when I went from a mass, he was like, "Yeah, we know that you told the truth and everything, but we're still gonna give you punishment. 21-day restriction, half month's pay times 1. And as E3, half month's pay time, that's like $200.
Every on the 1st and the 15th.
Mm.
That's your paycheck.
Yikes.
Yep.
And I was secluded away from everyone.
Really?
It's like a prison type deal.
Yeah, you don't get a phone.
You get everything taken away.
You get a
from you.
book.
No, you don't even get that.
Oh, we gave our people books.
No, they literally said, "Here's a piece of paper. You're gonna write out before you leave why you did this and what you've learned from the experience and how you're gonna make yourself better.
No way.
Oh yeah. Well, you got 15 days to do it, so.
Even
Yeah, but
21 for me.
Oh yeah, there you go.
if you were paying attention,
And the thing is, I've seen people go 60-day restriction. So yeah, they've had to sit behind the quarterdeck and in a rack just like he did, no phone, no nothing, and sit back there. And yeah, I mean, you could have a family, you have kids, wife,
Doesn't matter.
if you're there.
Yep.
And if you're out at sea, this is the cool part about this. If you're out at sea and you do something really, really stupid, they can do bread and water while you're in the brig for 3 days.
Well, it's some serious extent stuff. I've seen a lot of people go on restriction and not have like bread and water.
Well, I know. I'm saying that's it. The
The absolute, yeah.
It's the CEO's decision at that point. But yeah, they can give you bread and water.
wow,
That's it. That's your 3 meals.
that's insane.
Have always wondered if it's like a baguette they give you or something. Or they just break down some white bread.
Yeah, it's a wonder. Yeah, Jesus figured it out, so could you, asshole.
Yeah.
They gave us for breakfast and lunch a bag lunch type deal. That was the worst. At least we got to go out during dinner time, but you had to march in formation to the cafeteria, then back. All in march, all in formation. It was the worst.
And was it just you doing this?
No, there was other people with.
Oh, okay, like, I got you.
I mean, there was a good side about it because where we stayed at was at the very top of a barracks room and it was blocked off from everybody else. But we had windows.
Imagine. That would suck so much balls.
Yeah, it did. But we had windows, and right across from us is the fleet returnees. So this one girl always left her window wide open, so you always got a show.
Hey.
So it wasn't horrible, but you did get a show.
Yeah.
So what a fleet return is, people that were out, didn't like their rate, they cross-rated to whatever rate is getting an A school. They're going back to school to learn that rate.
Gotcha. Okay.
Unlike the guy who was a AD and became an HM and gave me his first IV, his first poke.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why I broke my arm. He goes, "This is my first time doing it. I've worked on helicopters for 8 years." Cool. I was like, I'll look away for it then. And I look back. He said, "Uh-oh." It's literally spiderweb blood going down my arm. He goes, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, you fine?" He's, I did a job cut out for you, bud.
Yeah. Maybe let's go back and look for something.
No one's around to watch him do this.
Yeah. We're letting him go unsupervised.
Yeah.
There's nothing like we can do here.
It's not the donkey dick that you would hook up to an aircraft.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what a fleet returning is.
Gotcha.
So your A school experience, obviously memorable
great.
one.
Was not great.
Would not recommend.
Yeah.
And then you didn't move too far away from them.
No, I went-
did you?
I went to Mayport, Florida for shore duty, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
Or my rate, which was ABH, which is Aviation Boatswain Mate Handler. Very, very long name
Yeah.
for no reason.
Yeah, that ain't no joke.
I worked on shore duty where we worked on the airfield, and we would have aircraft come in, but Mayport wasn't very known. It just actually opened up like maybe a few years ago before I got there.
Okay.
So we didn't have a lot of aircraft come in, but we did end up hosting the Blue Angels there.
Gotcha.
So,
Blue Angels are cool, man.
Yeah.
I know a couple people go and work for them.
well, I didn't.
Yeah.
We hosted them. We had all like the aircraft there, even the little planes that do all the tricks. I got to ride in that. That was
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You got to ride in the Big Bertha, didn't you? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The big.
The C-130 for the Blue Angels.
You got a cool coin from it too.
Yeah, they got it. They call it the Freedom Flight, which you always heard, but you never understood why.
Yeah.
There's actually armed forces of riding in it and it's
Oh,
doing all these maneuvers like it would do under fire and everything. So you would experience 0 Gs to all of a sudden 3 Gs.
Be good.
You just feel it.
Oh yeah.
Throwing up.
Yeah. It's just coming back. It's not going anymore. I think this is a bad choice.
They gave you bags, but
I feel like at that point, the bag ain't going to help much.
I mean, my black buddy over here, I saw him turn green, which is a very interesting color.
How would win stuff like a Shrek situation? How did he win?
Yeah, it would.
Eddie Murphy.
I don't know. He was throwing up like crazy.
Yeah, I guarantee it. I probably would too.
Yeah. I when I rode in helicopters, sometimes we get a pocket of no air.
Do you ride in the helicopter, the one that takes you a little bit?
Yeah, the one that will tour around the Las Vegas.
Yeah, I was gonna say the tour around the St. Louis Arch. But yeah, that works.
Oh well.
in the Navy.
Yeah.
It was actually the merry-go-round one.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh yeah,
The one at Holiday World.
Yeah.
It's like 0.2 in G's.
Not even on the scale.
No, but we would get dead air where it would just kind of drop real quick, and as soon as because everyone feels it, and then the pilot automatically corrects, and you get like forward coming back up.
Yeah.
Ooh, that makes your stomach go up in your throat real quick.
Yeah.
It's a good time, especially when you're over open water.
Yeah, I get it.
It's a blast.
Well, then we had the Porsche event out there too, where we could ride in Porsches and drive them.
Oh,
Brand new
okay.
Porsches.
Yeah,
Right on the runway too. They shut down the runway,
Oh, there you go.
so reaching up 200 miles per hour.
Was there a commercial being filmed at the same time? You know how they have those like Nissan commercial, like this is on a closed course.
Yeah.
No, it was just an event to raise money for something that I don't know. You'd see bunch of rich people though, because
Oh, yeah, I
each
guarantee.
ticket was like $2,000 for just one person.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Oh
We
yeah.
had it out in San Diego too on Coronado. They did the same thing, and it was a high-profile event.
Well, it's more so. I mean, people that can afford that kind of thing don't really care about driving the Porsches or like you know what I mean. They probably have two of their own at home.
Yeah.
But it's more so just the
Driving on a flight line.
yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, that or they're really just doing it for appearances. You know, like
Well,
tax riding.
You know that poker player Dan Blitzer? I think that's
Blazarian?
Is that what his name is?
Yeah.
Yeah. He goes out to Coronado every year.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, when I was out there, he did it a lot. I saw his Instagram story a ton of times.
Look, I was there.
It's a good time. And then after that, I went to the USS New York, which a lot of people don't know is that it's actually built from the Twin Towers. 7.5 tons
Really?
of steel put into the front of the ship.
That's insane.
That's a way to shove it right back.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, you like Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, exactly.
They went overseas on a secret mission. Everything was shut off from communication and everything. And they end up bringing back a high-class terrorist.
Oh, I'd put it in Saddam's front yard.
Oh, yeah.
Driving up in there.
Have the Joey.
Just right
Yeah.
there.
So I went there as first ship and everything. I was like, man, I really didn't want to be on a ship because, he's never been on one.
Obviously, yeah.
I took a step on the Midway.
I have too. If you go 10 for 10, I'd
I saluted when I went on the LST.
yeah. Across point. I remember well. This would look a little bit different when I was on the air.
Right, yeah.
That was an experience. I got OC sprayed. It was so horrible. Well, it hurt a lot, but like I didn't get as much as the chief did that wanted to spray me because all of a sudden like the wind was like, yeah, I know what happened.
Sometimes God shines upon those who help themselves.
Dude, you should have had him go with you through the little maze they give you.
Yeah, I got video of it.
You got video? Oh, dude.
Here we go. Yeah.
Good one. Of your
OC spray days.
Yeah. Oh man, it's that's one of my favorite things about the military is they publicize OC spraying, and some of them barely get any, and some others they like you. It's like spray of orange.
Oh,
Like they took a brush.
yeah.
Across.
Yeah.
Oh,
Paintball without the goggles.
there's one that I see. It's this girl who she gets sprayed and it's like that, and she opens her eyes and she like slams her hands down to her legs and then does a backflip.
No.
Crazy.
We'll be sure to put this video up on the screen right now as we're watching this here.
Go down that side. Oh, see. Oh, this lady hold up.
He's like, I immediately regret that.
See what about? They're not the late cards. They're celebrated. So I made what they call. Well, oh, I'm dead out for you. I'm dead out for course. Three. But here. Stage.
Run. Grand Forest.
Get back. Go about your takedowns.
Beautiful takedown. Break that arm.
Click it.
Oh, I could have.
Kill us again. Wait, back. But you're already on it. Ah, the feel boys there back.
Without. Oh, it's my favorite. The red man. Is this the red man?
It's
Darn, get back. Director.
She's got back. Beat the shit out of her.
Get back. Get back. Get back. Where are you? Little security guard, get back.
I can't. It's
Like the world's best baseball swing over here.
yeah, right.
I can't see where crap, so I'm just kind of guessing.
Oh yeah, you're going through it. This is a good one.
Deceleration, no little truck. Back. Get back. Back. We throw it. Well, did you order him? Therefore, get the puck back.
This is a completely different Andy too. What the hell?
I heard it.
Oh, you're little flip back. Get back.
Good blocks. Good blocks.
Get back.
You guys hear him winded.
Sounded close to a pug.
Yeah.
Like, not one of my better days.
Oh yeah. Come on. Get the red man. This is my favorite. I love the red man. You beat the hemp out of him. Look at that. I love it where they take the taunting.
It's John Cena.
Oh yeah, it was the officer on our ship that was part of the ATF program, and he was the biggest, muscular one.
Look at him. I love it because most of the time they'll take the baton and they'll throw it, and you got it with your blind eyes trying to find it. It's so good.
Oh my God.
You got
How in the hell did you find that?
lost foot.
It was like 105 like that.
Should have tackled him. It's called.
I just speared him right there.
Who the heck's building this? We're gonna have to have a conversation with him.
Think Kimbro.
What's going on? Face on our head. Baton grab, find dots, get on ground.
What do you do here?
Solid grab, and I gotta break it away from it, and then
Sam,
back of the fight with it.
beat him up.
Up to your head, Governor, what's on?
I wish you had this privacy screen on your.
Everybody, hold on. Hold up. Hold blink. Hold blink again. Hold on back here.
You're like, fuck.
Exactly.
I'm actually done.
Oh God,
I was done with it.
that's my favorite part when they take the baton and gives 30 on her.
Just chuck it.
It just catches the wind just right.
Yeah, that's terrible. I luckily never had to do that.
See?
I know.
Another one.
Another one sneaking away right there.
No reason to be sturdy when you're yelling.
Oh my.
Oh, there's plenty of, once you go to the ship, yeah, you gotta do it.
Well, that would involve him not going on the ship that he doesn't have to buy a ticket for. You're right.
Bingo. Cruise.
That was getting ready for the 2018 deployment.
Yes, and then you did a Tiger Cruise with
The parents on the way when we came back after we dropped off the Marines.
yeah. They how'd they get out to you guys, or
We were pulled into
what was it, North Carolina?
North Carolina, Moorhead. Yeah, Moorhead.
Yeah, Moorhead. Yeah, and then they drove or flew out there, and then got on the ship, and then from Moorhead all the way to Mayport.
Oh,
Rode
really?
the boat with them. Yeah, pretty cool event they do. They send some kind of like this inflatable thing out, and they just start shooting at it. The stuff works. Yeah, so that's a cool one. Do you have any other videos you'd like to show, Mr. Chapel?
Yes, I do. So, on this 2018 deployment, we have Marines. our ship had roughly about 1,500 Marines under. And they know how to destroy a lot of things.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, that's their job. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do or die.
I got called a sir. When you see an officer, you call them like
Their whole thing is
sir,
shine
everything.
everything. If you see something shiny, you
And-
gotta salute. That
like-
happened a lot.
I'm like, no, that ain't me. But all right, cool.
It don't help that our petty officer stuff is a
Yeah.
eagle. Well, it's a crow,
Crow.
but it looks like an eagle if you're not in the branch.
Yeah. So we had Marines on there, and they ended up clogging our pipeline.
Did you do that?
No, your wife did actually. But
Yeah, that's pretty good.
as you can see the similarities between the two.
Pretty close. I just realized that.
We thought he could fly at one point.
I did.
For like 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, gravity hurts. Anyways, back to what you were saying.
They clogged up our like sewage line and everything by waffle stomping down the drains and everything, and it was bad.
If you don't know what a waffle stomp is, it's where you're too lazy to go to the toilet, so you are in the shower, free toilet paper, you just drop
Drop
it.
trowel. Yeah.
You already dropped trowel, you're in the shower.
Yeah. Well.
You drop it in the shower, and then, you know how most drains, it looks like a waffle. Oh, there you go.
And circle gets a square.
Dingo. So,
So they clogged up our line completely. The HTs, which is the plumbers of the ship, they been working on it for weeks. They figured out finally where it was fully clogged out at.
I love this video so much.
This is them clearing out the
Dude, it's so good. Make sure you can see it.
Oh, what? No. There's no way that's real.
Yes.
But they're very no way.
Look at the slow motion on it.
Oh, you want to see a slow one?
Yeah.
Holy
Look at that thing.
Oh my god. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Oh, I spent many of hours laughing at that.
It's hilarious. I've seen that loop 1,800 times.
Yeah. It's so good. Like I said, first time on Brews and Views, you'll be able to see this video that we're watching somewhere in the
Sign it there. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, don't
insane.
expect Jeff to try to understand technology. He's trying to still figure out how our Facebook gets messed up.
It's not meant. It works. It's just not how you want it to work.
It's how it needs to work. It's the principle of the matter.
Yeah. If you want to be on Facebook with us, just add me as a
Just go ahead and do what I do with my golf clubs. Just get the fuck out of here.
God.
Think about that one.
So,
Really?
no. Fuppers.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, hop on up there, girl. This is Ruby Doobie here. If y'all don't know, it's our pup. She's a good girl.
One of two.
One of two, yeah. The other one's upstairs. She don't like coming downstairs.
So then that was actually before we even hit our first port, which our first port was Italy.
Cut it out.
That was a good time. I really didn't do much, but besides actually real Italian food.
Interesting, man.
Dude, tomatoes over there compared to here.
Oh, well, yeah.
As the kids say nowadays, I bet it's busted.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that was like 2 years ago.
Oh.
Let's get your son down here and figure out what the children are saying nowadays. I think busing is like,
He's still
Usually-
Grease.
It's usually big back now.
Big bag.
really interesting.
Big bag?
Dude. Yeah, it means you're a fat person.
I'll talk about tomatoes being good. Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
You'll be a big back on it.
All right, then.
Huh. Interesting.
I
Write that down. Write that down.
Yeah, I learned that from my daughter.
There you go.
It's slang these days.
You know,
Never thought I'd say that, but
what do we have back in our golden years?
hell, I don't.
We just saw it how it is.
Swag.
And
Yeah,
get jiggy with it.
Yeah.
yeah. the L sign, you know. Yeah, exactly.
No, from no love.
That don't mean love. Yeah, you know, some people have different languages. Yeah.
Golly.
Well, before we wrap this up, do you have any other kind of stories you want to talk about, or just anything you want to talk about?
If you don't mind me interjecting just for 1 second, how the hell can you be a Cubs and Patriots fan? Who hurt you as a child?
That's been a long time ago.
That's irrelevant.
I like the colors of the Patriots.
What?
Yeah, and the
Okay, Keegan Gillette.
Yeah, in the Cubs, I like Sammy Sosa growing up, and Kerry Wood.
I don't know who you are anymore.
I switched to the better teams. Go Titans. Go Cardinals. You know,
Unbelievable.
hey, I don't
Bears. Been always a Bears fan, always been a Cardinal fan.
You know,
That's loyalty right there.
yeah. It's
Especially after the years of being a Bears fan.
That's yeah.
Yeah, you ain't got no Mike Ditka.
You know, Ditka in the Urlacher days. Oh man,
Yeah.
Now, old Soldier Field is what happened.
Walter Payton.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah.
Just a bronze statue that gets passed around every year.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Like we almost had it a few times. We keep drafting these number 1 overall quarterbacks and then shipping them out the next year or two.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
This is actually our first number 1 quarterback.
Wasn't
Trubisky wasn't.
Who's the one you guys had last year that did pretty well, but now it's just like
Fields.
yeah, Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Well,
Isn't he sucking Aaron Rodgers' dick now, or what's he doing?
Fields?
I think he's sucking his Achilles tendon.
Where'd Fields go to?
Fields went to the Steelers.
It was the Steelers.
He's with Broncos, you know.
Yeah, we ride. You know. Let's ride. Donation.
Johnny Jack's on the plane.
Steelers, let's weld.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
black and yellow and all that
Yeah.
jazz. Oh. I mean, it's got to be tough. I mean, being a loyal Bears fan because it's not easy. It's a rough franchise.
Well, I mean, if you look at their stuff too, because Soldier Field's got to be the oldest stadium nowadays.
It's such a nice stadium, though.
Yeah.
We went to the new stadium.
Are they building a new stadium?
Yeah.
No.
But the new stadium looks awesome.
Yeah.
Probably it's like Qualcomm.
Well, it's gonna look better than Topgolf Stadium. I know when's the last time you've been to Nashville, but they're really like making headway on Topgolf Stadium. So I like to call it Nissan Stadium.
Where's it at?
So okay, remember, you know where Nissan sits currently.
Yes.
Okay, and
The parking lot.
Yeah, yeah, the parking lot, then the La Quinta that that you are a spokesperson for. In between there.
I literally asked if you stayed at La Quinta one time.
You said clear the last 3 times. Did you go to the La Quinta? Like, hotel. And what? I remember the last time I stayed at that La Quinta, I had plans to go out to Nashville that night, and I can't remember what happened as to why we didn't end up going down to Broadway. I don't know either,
but I think you're thinking of a wrong location.
But yeah, that's where it's going. Is that empty part of the old tailgate parking lot?
Gotcha. Okay.
So I don't know what they're doing with Nissan once that's done, what the timetable is on that. But
Tear it down, make it the other parking lot.
I mean, they're gonna have to. Or they're gonna. I mean,
They're not gonna have two stadiums right next to each other.
well, now they're not gonna have 2 states. But you almost wonder, like, going back to the Cardinals, if they're gonna do like a ballpark village type of thing with it being Nashville and there's a pedestrian bridge right there, or if they're just gonna
They'll
be
make it-
parking. Or,
They're gonna have a parking lot because
they're gonna have to put parking somewhere.
Yeah. So I'm sure most of that's going to be a parking lot, and then maybe they'll do something like that. I don't know. They probably want to keep a lot of the liquor sales in-house.
Yeah.
I don't know what Nashville's policies are, because, I mean, I know over in St. Louis, a lot of the proceeds that they get from ballpark goes to
Yeah.
Busch,
And
you know,
it's- yeah, it's
because they're owners of it. But I don't know the laws down there. Maybe a little different.
Well, and speaking of liquor laws and things like that, really just speaking of alcohol in general, because we never talk about it on this podcast,
Sober podcast.
Sober Podcast. Man, I could have used you last weekend down in Nashville, man. Zach Bryan was in town, so of course, Ronnie Dunn had to make an appearance down there.
No.
And
a little bit.
The red dirt road just wasn't hitting the same.
Well, I know, man.
I almost stopped. I was like, oh wait, I gotta keep singing. Yeah. There's a I was like, well, no, this isn't my part. How this goes, but
Which, by the way, we're gonna have to test out our karaoke equipment because of this weekend.
listen, we might dabble in a little bit in the Patreon version of Brews and Views.
I'm not talking about on here. I was talking about advertising for this weekend.
No, absolutely, that too. Speaking of this weekend, though, and while I happen to have the Henderson Brewing Company shirt, kind of goes hand in hand. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what the hell it is we're doing Saturday night?
Saturday night, I know you heard it a lot on the podcast already. We're going to be down at the Henderson Brewing Company, the Brews and Views boys, and we're going to be hosting karaoke down there, 8 to 10 o'clock. Like Kevin says, you come a little earlier, you might get a little flavor.
A little brief party.
Sniff of the Brews and Views boys. Timu version, Ronnie and Kicks. See what we can do.
It's going to be a good time. Henderson Brewing Company's annual celebration, 6 years in the making. And finally, after the 6th year, they got it right, and they decided to bring in the TimuWish.com version of Brooks and Dunn. We're going to run karaoke that night, 2nd Street, downtown Henderson, Kentucky. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a great time doing a couple beer releases that day. We have a food truck. You're going to have the generic version of Brooks and Dunn, and it's going to be a great time. And hopefully everyone can make it out because it's going to be a night to remember for sure.
I would agree. Yeah, it's going to be a good old time. Or not to remember, depending on how much you drink.
Correct. Depending on what ends up happening after we shut the karaoke off at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. So, as we always do, beer's empty.
Listen, but before that, we'd be remiss if we couldn't thank the great Andy Williams over here for joining us on the podcast. He's a long-time listener, one of our very first fans. He might be just right below the immortal Karen Williams.
Hey, I'm the one who's up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I get to listen to it first.
That's right. He's probably the very first listener. The whole Williams clan is right up in there. But we want to thank all of our listeners, along with Andy as well, for tuning in every single week. Because we definitely wouldn't do it without you guys, and especially after last week's drunken fiasco.
Yeah. But I tell you what, it was captured well, just like tonight's is, because we have our man again, Jesse.
Absolutely.
Recording our stuff. He's going to be our new Jamie, it seems like, with it's the Joe Rogan podcast. He's going to be our Jamie for this podcast here. We're going to individually set him up. He's going to be our fact checker. Because I tend to say stuff when I drink a lot.
Correct.
Wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I talk out of my ass. So
yes. So Jamie, I mean not Jamie. Jeez, here we go. Jesse, you want to come in, give all your information, all that good stuff again? Yeah, actually, stop business cards too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, give me a script. Look at that.
No, I'm out the window when you guys went home. Let everybody know where to
Awesome. I was going to go to the strip club and just drop it down there. Yeah, this works too, man.
Go to the Pony after this.
That's what I'm screaming.
Maybe a little more upscale.
Pony's best one in town.
Oh, we got to go out of town.
Well, yeah, I guess that's...
This man...
wild horse.
So, ladies and gentlemen, back from his recovery fall from last week's episode, Jesse, our newest videographer over here. I know you've messaged us wondering, did that man actually fall? I can't disclose that. But he's back with us. He's going to be our videographer moving forward with the Brews and Views podcast. I'm illiterate. Can you tell us where to find you at?
So you can find me... Oh, let me read it off. Sorry.
Yeah.
BittersweetUniverse.com is where all of my work is. YouTube.com/BittersweetUniverse. And then out about around Evansville, Indiana, you'll see me pretty much everywhere.
And now the golf course, too, now.
Yeah, Southern Clubs.
So, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Hey, to the Williams brothers. Cheers.